We are back with today's checklist. Graduation season is in full swing, and that means a new class of job seekers. Just in time, LinkedIn is out today with its guide to kickstarting your career, highlighting the top jobs, industries, and even cities. So here with an exclusive first look is Dan Roth, LinkedIn editor-in-chief. Dan, good morning to you.
Good morning.
We talk about graduates, but honestly, there are probably a lot of people watching right now who are looking for jobs. So this is of interest to them, too. Let's start with this before we get into your advice. For months, we've had this kind of cloud over the economy. And people are worried about, could there be a recession down the line? If you're a grad or job seeker, should you be worried about that, or has that impacted the job market?
I mean, yeah, you should be worried. It is a much more volatile time than we've seen in a long time. The overall hiring rate is at 29%, is down 29%
really?
From last year. Yeah, and it's down 32% for new grads. So definitely some storm clouds, but employers are hiring. They are saying that they intend to hire 15% more college grads this year than they did last year. And this graduating class is an incredibly resilient class. They have been through COVID. They know how to navigate weird times. They're going to be just fine in this job market, whatever it throws at them.
So let's jump right in. What are some of the hottest industries grads should be looking at?
Sure. So if you are just leaving college right now, the top 3 roles are product management, consulting, and procurement, or making sure that you're signing contracts and finding supplies and goods for companies. Number 1, product management, huge growth in product management, 26% increase in hiring in that role in the last year.
Yeah, I don't even
That's
know
like
what that
if you are launching any kind of a new technology or you're rolling something out at your company, a product manager is in charge of every piece of that puzzle. It's planning it, it's thinking about the marketing, it's thinking about the rollout, it's working with the engineers to figure out what that looks like. And this used to be a tech role. Now every industry is hiring PMs. So, and then the 3 big industries that are hiring for college grads are professional services. So that's like accounting firms, consulting firms, law firms, healthcare and hospitals, and then manufacturing. That's where the hiring is happening.
So one of the giant conversations of the last decade, to degree or not to degree, that is the question.
Yeah.
There are so many jobs out there, and states have actually changed their laws with regards to jobs that used to require a BA or a BS degree. Talk about that segment of the job market and what's out there and what's available and who can get it.
Sure. So the skills-based hiring is a trend that just keeps accelerating. Nearly 20% of jobs right now that are listed do not require a college degree. 2 years ago, that was at 15%. This is like a massive change going on. And hiring managers now, we see that they are 50% more likely to search candidates based off of the skills they have versus the years of experience. Again, culture change in how you think about hiring and promoting within a company. So there are jobs out there. If you do not have a college degree, the top 3 jobs, consulting, marketing, and research. There are over 20% growth in hiring in those areas for people without degrees.
So what about
and trades?
And trades, for sure. Absolutely.
Off the charts.
What about cities? Are there any hot cities where people perhaps are they hiring more so than others?
Yeah, well, every time I come here, I feel like we're trying to figure out whether remote jobs are going to stick around or not. They keep disappearing.
Really?
And so the advice is you got to go where the jobs are. So the big cities still the biggest hirers of recent grads, but we're seeing 3 cities pop up as being really quick hirers of new grads. Seattle, number 1, 9% increase in hiring of new grads in the last year. And that's because of big companies like Microsoft, Meta, Boeing. Hartford, Connecticut for manufacturing jobs. And Houston is a huge hirer in the healthcare industry, and they're hiring lots of new grads.
And so for people who are just starting out, I feel like there are folks who've been in the job market for a long time. They have all this experience. They're looking for jobs. But for those new grads, that first job, I mean, what is some advice you have for them about this first job?
So we get all kinds of advice on LinkedIn. I'm trying to read all of it. Number 1 is be passionate but not attached. You get your first job. You are going to have lots of changes coming at you. You need to be excited. You need to go into it and be like, oh, this role is the best. I'm doing what matters the most. And then your boss is going to come to you and say, actually, we need you to do something else. You have to be just as passionate about the next thing. Yeah, I can't wait. Second is you're going to have lots of firsts. You're going to write your resume for the first time. You're going to interview for the first time. You're going to sit in meetings for the first time. You're going to do all kinds of stuff. You are an amateur. Be okay with being an amateur. You're going to make mistakes. You have to know that no one is expecting that much out of you. Be okay with those mistakes. They're going to happen. And the 3 is network. Always be networking. You want to make sure you're meeting people. And one of the best things that you can do, this advice came from Ginny Rometty, the former CEO of IBM, is help everyone. Anyone asks you for anything, say yes. Just keep helping them. That is a great way to meet people. Companies are capricious, but relationships last. Make relationships.
So great advice, Dan.
Thanks.
As
always. Exactly
As always.
right.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Hey, thanks for watching. Don't miss the Today Show every weekday at 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 Pacific on our streaming channel, Today All Day. To watch, head to today.com/allday or click the link right here.